You can do everything right. You can have a good idea, a solid outline, a wonderful story, and really great edits, but you can still get ignored. Don't let that be you. I'm here to help you prepare your manuscript. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Shadi and I'm a Black novelist in Japan. You can pick your poison and follow along or just use me as background noise. Either is okay. I'm just here to help you as you write your heart's contents. In the previous video, we talked about how to actually get through the editing phase in this 5-part series of how to go from brainstorming all the way to this video, the manuscripting phase. Yay! So if you made it this far, you've probably gone through everything, or you're in that last draft or that last part where you're trying to figure out what to do with the work you have if you don't already have an idea. At this point, you've done what a lot of people just don't do, so pat yourself on the back. You made it so far. You finished. Now let's get into the kind of sticky icky part, the manuscript. I'm not gonna put this as a tip or anything in the video, but please make sure you have proofread and edited all your stuff and that you're ready to have it sent off if you're gonna be watching this video. If not, go back and check the previous videos to know what to do. So getting into it, you know, you already wrote everything and now you're just going to do the next step, which doesn't have to do anything with your actual novel. You're going to send off your manuscript. So my first tip is just to really hone it all in, and I'm not farting, it's a chair. I said this in the last video, so it's a chair squeaking. What you're going to do is get into that mindset that you are a writer, because you are. I don't care if you don't feel like it, like, oh, I don't have my novel published yet. Girl, you wrote it. You're a writer. Writers write. Literally, that's the word. That's the definition. That's the word. You wrote something. You are a writer, and you need to conduct and carry yourself as if you were already published, so that you don't get scammed, don't waste your time, and so that people know not to mess with you, because you are a bad arse writer who knows what they want and they know how to get it, and you can do it. I know I don't sound like, I know it sounds a little off, but you can do it. You can. So conduct yourself as so, and do not think of yourself as any less than that, because you don't want to get with the publishing companies that are going to scam you, or the publishing companies that are like, you don't want to waste your time with a literary agent that's not going to take your novel or your piece of work and make it the best it can absolutely be. So writer mentality, writer mindset from here on out. Okay. That means you're gonna need to be clear about everything that you want, what you see for your novel and for yourself, and how you want things to go. This also means when it comes to your novel, again, I said I wouldn't mention it before, but we're gonna just talk a little bit about it. But with your novel, make sure it is clear, that everything makes sense, that it's consistent and the details are correct, because that really matters when you're sending it off. And, you know, make sure you don't have any plot holes. Again, make sure you already sent that stuff off so that other people have read it and checked it, and you have thought of like things you may not have thought of before, or they have caught things or noticed things that you didn't notice before. All I'm really saying is, in this part for the first tip, make sure to dot your I's and cross your T's. Okay. For my second tip, let's kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. When it comes to the manuscript document, I'm gonna see if I can put it up here or something. When it comes to that document, you need to keep it simple. Do not try to add any fluff or any like dramatic things. It's unnecessary. You don't need to, okay? If you're going to be sending off your manuscript, you need to make sure that it's clean, understandable, it's maybe in the standard format, and that it's also very readable. No one wants to like have to pick through or piece through anything. And trust me, when I sent off my first manuscript, I got lucky, because I am not gonna say it wasn't professional, but I could have probably, like in hindsight, looking back after sending my second manuscript and now thinking about my third novel that I'm gonna be making, I probably could have been a little bit more professional with the manuscript format that I sent, but they're like, you know, just send it however you want. Okay, I'll send it like this. So many errors, so many things, I had like highlight, girl. Anyways, some things that you want to consider when it comes to your manuscript format is that it needs to be in Times New Roman. I will say Times New Roman, like simple font. If you don't want to do Times New Roman for some reason. Just make sure it's a very simple font, please. You want to have consistent spacing and clear paragraphs. That needs to be very notable or noticed in there. I always use double space and then the indentation. It's very easy to understand and it's very common to book formats. And I guess the other tip point I'll put somewhere over here is that you're going to want to have your page numbers. Definitely do not forget your page numbers. Make sure that's on there. So keep these in mind as you are editing your manuscript. So I could try to stress my brain to remember this, to recite it on camera, but what I'm not going to do is that. What I am going to do is put up in bullet points everything that you should be considering, because we're going to be here, or I'm going to be here for like 10 minutes trying to remember, okay, wait, Times New Roman font, make sure to say this, make sure to say that. And I'm just talking so that it's on the screen longer so that you can screenshot it or write it down or pause the screen or whatever you need to do. But you're going to need like the 12-point font, the Roman, Times New Roman, and all of that. It's all on the screen. Y'all see. I just do not want to stress myself to remember all of that. I do have information and links below. You know, I always try to come with statistics, research, facts for you guys so that you know exactly what to do. Like, I'm trying to give you all information. So be sure to check below in the description box for literally the format, the most common standard formats that you may want to use for your novel. Of course, as I just said, this is a standard format for your manuscript. However, you know, other publishers want different things sometimes. So you need to make sure to check those guidelines because they may deny your submission otherwise. It's up to you to check. But if they don't have anything specific, go ahead and follow the guidelines. There's stuff in the description box. Okay? Okay. Now, this kind of doesn't really have to do with the manuscript. Honestly, I feel like I said the most important stuff for the manuscript in the first 2 tips. But what you're gonna want to do is send the query letter to an agent, to a literary agent. It'll be the first step, the query letter. Query letter, query letter, query letter. Okay, what is that though? Do you know what that is? I'm gonna have the definition up on the screen. What this is going to do is help to kind of, you know, like I can't strip, but I can show a little more leg, just a little. This is not my OF. I don't have an OF, but you know, let me cross my legs. Oh my God. You're gonna want to seduce the literary agent a little bit and get them into the manuscript so that they can undress it. Does that make sense? Was that too sexual? I don't know. But anyways, you're just gonna try to get the literary agent into wanting to read your manuscript and, you know, finish whatever you have sent them. And I know I said in the other videos, but I am currently battling allergies. I feel like my voice is better in this video, but I'm sorry if I sound a little bit nasally. What you can do is think of your query letter as the pitch, the sales pitch for your novel on why they should be reading it and entertaining it and sending it off to the publishing company. The sales pitch of your body, if you will, your body of work. Let them know what makes your novel stand out from others and why they should be taking the risk and the challenge and the honor of having you work with them and having your beautiful baby work in their hands. And I am going to put it up on the screen, but I think that her name is Rebecca Van Leer. She said it best herself when she said, over here, put it up, Shadia, put it up. The query letter is a formal letter sent to a literary agent to gauge their interest in representing your book for publication. Do not, SK.
Do not.
Copy and paste. Make it personalized and really express and specify why you want to work with them. Let them know exactly what is special about their company and how it fits with your work. This isn't about the manuscript, so to say, but this will help to get your manuscript in the right hands to help you get to higher places. For the 4th point, I want you to really sit back and think to yourself, what does a literary agent want? What do they want to see? What does a publishing company want to see? Think about that for just 2 seconds. You can pause the video and I'm about to answer it, but you got like 2 seconds to pause. Okay. Did you answer? What was your answer? Okay, so my personal, and I think not my personal answer, but I think a lot of people would answer that a literary agent just wants a good story at the end of the day. Like I said, I was doing research for this for all the videos, and I was trying to see what different agents were saying, and even editors, and what everyone else was saying that they hope to see when they get that manuscript on their desk or that query letter on their desk or whatever. They're hoping to see a story regardless of errors or mistakes or spelling or grammar, whatever. They just want a good story that will keep them immersed and keep them wanting more. And think about it, when was the last time you actually stopped reading something good just because of an error or two? Don't answer that. Now, I'm specifically going to talk about the literary agent, not the publisher, from this point. One guy that I was reading about to see what the literary agent was, he said he never rejected a manuscript or anything because of the wrong format or because of, just a miscapitalization or anything like that. So that should kind of give you an idea about what some, not all, but some really kind people, literary agents, are thinking about. I just want to say that you should be happy with the work that you send off, regardless of if you think it's the best work in the world or not. Just make sure you're happy with it, and then you're off to a good start when it comes to giving your baby to the literary agent and publishing company and everything like that. My fifth and final tip on this subject is that I want you to do your research. And I'm not talking about the research I said from before when I mentioned it in the editing video. What I mean is, do you know your genre? Do you know what's trending in your genre? Do you? If so, comment it down below. Not only your genre and what's trending, but also the literary company or the literary agency and publishing company. Did you do your research? Why do you even want to work with them? Aside from the fact that they're looking for writers, or they're why? You need to know if that literary agent or agency and the publishing company are even accepting submissions at the point when you send your manuscript, because I saw, often mentioned, there's nothing that these publishing companies and houses and stuff don't like more than unsolicited manuscripts in their hands or inbox. So that's one way to just have it tossed out. Did they ask for any submissions, any applications, anything like that? If not, you may want to personally email them and see what's going on, or you may want to try a different place to go to give your work. All I'm saying is just make sure they're accepting before you waste your time and energy sending it off. That's all you gotta do. It takes 2 seconds to check. 2 seconds. There are 1,000 ways to do it, which is why I keep switching between literary agent and publishing company and whatever. But you can send to a literary agent, or you can send directly to the publishing company, or, self-publishing. There are 1,000 ways to do it. It really just depends on you and what you're interested in. But, again, this does kind of go hand in hand with your manuscript, because this has to do with the final edit of your manuscript and sending it off. When you finish your manuscript, you're technically not done, you're just ready to submit. So that's why this specific point that I'm mentioning is very important. Now you should have everything pretty much done if I did my job right with this 5-part series between brainstorming, outlining, writing, editing, and sending your manuscript. I hope. You should have all of this ready to go. Go ahead and screenshot that or write it down. For me, when it came to my stuff and my manuscript and all that, I said it earlier, but basically I was really unprofessional. I probably should have been a lot more professional, but hey, I am gonna get published and my novel will be in bookstores next year, so I must have done something right. But the thing is, I had already technically signed the contract, so they had seen my work and then they offered me the contract technically. And then from there, I'm laughing because I'm thinking this is really helping me to see how kind of unprofessional I was. But basically, since I already signed the contract and they already had the work and they already said just submit it however you want, I was like, oh, here you go. Here you go. However, if you don't have something like that where you haven't even already signed the contract and started the works, you're going to want to sound a lot more professional than I did when I was just that little bibbidi bobbidi bopper sending stuff. Especially, I'm talking about sounding professional when it comes to your literary agent. They're the first ring of hell that you're gonna want to get through before you can open the gates to get through the rest of hell, that is publishing your novel. That's a fun way to refer to it. After you have made it through the gates of hell, they are going to give your manuscript to the publishing house, and then they're gonna decide if they want to publish it or not. So it's kind of like a few hoops you gotta jump through a little bit, but you'll get there eventually. That's the point. That's the biggest point. But again, I have to say, if you are going to submit to the big publishing houses, you do not want to send unsolicited manuscripts. Please do not waste your time. Please. The bigger publishing houses may not even look at you if you do not have an agent to represent you. Keep that in mind. So when it comes to traditional publishing, you're gonna wanna have the literary agent send it for you. They're the ones that can get you through the gates of hell. When it comes to indies and small presses like what I'm working with, you can send it to them directly. Usually that's how it works. And they may have a format, they may not, that's up to you to check. But I have to emphasize, when it comes to the query letter stage, do not send them the full manuscript, do not. Just send them maybe, you don't wanna send the full thing. What you wanna do is either check on their website how much they want you to submit, or what you're going to do is ask them if you really just don't know and you want to check, but do not send them the full thing, please. Then, of course, what gives you full control is being self-published. It doesn't matter because you don't have to send it anywhere. You just have to make sure you edit the heck out of it and make sure your manuscript looks professional for the readers. And with that said, that concludes this 5-part series. And again, I did not fart. That was a chair. Okay. But thank you so much for watching. Now that I've given you some techniques on how to, you know, send out your manuscript and everything and make sure it's professional and ready to go, I think you're ready to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I'm really trying to work harder and do my best, and I'm on the way. I'm on the way. And it is exciting because I feel like I'm sharing tips that I wish I would have known before. Like, again, I'm always learning when I research, so it's been a fun journey. But anyways, if you want, you can check out my socials, linked on the screen and also in the end credit roll. And for everything regarding the music and even the websites that have the guidelines and everything you need to know for manuscripting, check it below in the description box, por favor. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment them down below. I'm always looking for new ideas to make the videos. I think my next video will be on fear. Yeah, I'm really thinking about that. Maybe about fear and about emotions and how to write fear novels. But again, I'm always happy to answer questions or help when I can. So yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, again, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you think that I helped you. I really hope I did. So please help me. I guess other than that, that's the end of the video. Just please make sure to stay happy, safe, healthy, and always write your heart's contents. Bye.